You're here for motivational gains, and we can do that through the wisdom of those that have spent their entire lives immersed in self-help and inspirational endeavors. Today will be the author, Napoleon Hill. Let's get in today's discount therapy. Many think they are better than therapy, including old me, but most of us just simply are not. And that's all I'm trying to help with, providing discount therapy and the rationale of very wise authors. Hopefully, this will help you skew one of your normal days into one of your best days. Okay, let's begin this excerpt. But before we do, set yourself up for success and truly take this information in. Blindfold yourself in the shower and listen, or whatever less extreme preferred method.
A long while ago, a great warrior faced a situation which made it necessary for him to make a decision which ensured his success on the battlefield. He was about to send his armies against a powerful foe, whose men outnumbered his own. He loaded his soldiers into boats, sailed to the enemy's country, unloaded soldiers and equipment, then gave the order to burn the ships that had carried them. Addressing his men before the first battle, he said, "You see the boats going up in smoke. That means that we cannot leave these shores alive unless we win. We now have no choice. We win or we perish." They won. Every person who wins in an undertaking must be willing to burn his ships and cut all sources of retreat. Only by so doing can one be sure of maintaining that state of mind known as a burning desire to win, essential to success. The morning after the Great Chicago Fire, a group of merchants stood on State Street, looking at the smoking remains of what had been their stores. They went into a conference to decide if they would try to rebuild or leave Chicago and start over in a more promising section of the country. They reached a decision, all except one, to leave Chicago. The merchant who decided to stay and rebuild pointed a finger at the remains of his store and said, "Gentlemen, on that very spot I will build the world's greatest store, no matter how many times it may burn down." That was almost a century ago. The store was built. It stands there today, a towering monument to the power of that state of mind known as a burning desire. The easy thing for Marshall Field to have done would have been exactly what his fellow merchants did. When the going was hard and the future looked dismal, they pulled up and went where the going seemed easier. Mark well this difference between Marshall Field and the other merchants, because it is the same difference which distinguishes practically all who succeed from those who fail. Every human being who reaches the age of understanding of the purpose of money wishes for it. Wishing will not bring riches, but desiring riches with a state of mind that becomes an obsession, then planning definite ways and means to acquire riches, and backing those plans with persistence which does not recognize failure, will bring riches. Autosuggestion is a term which applies to all suggestions and all self-administered stimuli which reach one's mind through the five senses. Stated in another way, autosuggestion is self-suggestion. It is the agency of communication between that part of the mind where conscious thought takes place, and that which serves as the seat of action for the subconscious mind. Through the dominating thoughts which one permits to remain in the conscious mind, whether these thoughts be negative or positive is immaterial, the principle of autosuggestion voluntarily reaches the subconscious mind and influences it with these thoughts. Nature has so built man that he has absolute control over the material which reaches his subconscious mind through his five senses, although this is not meant to be construed as a statement that man always exercises this control. In the great majority of instances, he does not exercise it, which explains why so many people go through life in poverty. Recall what has been said about the subconscious mind resembling a fertile garden spot in which weeds will grow in abundance if the seeds of more desirable crops are not sown therein. Autosuggestion is the agency of control through which an individual may voluntarily feed his subconscious mind on thoughts of a creative nature, or by neglect, permit thoughts of a destructive nature to find their way into this rich garden of the mind.
And that, my friend, was Napoleon Hill. Why you're always tired. You may have no desire. Every adversity, every failure, and every heartache carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. Don't be afraid to pursue that desire today. This is powerful stuff that will begin transforming your life moving forward. Internalize you can create your own desire. You just have to get out of your comfort zone. Please join me in my podcast, The Devil's Advocate. My dream, more than anything, would be to have a conversation with you, whatever may be weighing on your mind, on my podcast, Devil's Advocate, where we just explore as many perspectives as possible, no matter how controversial they may be, because perspective is everything. Leave a comment below.
Get your inspirational woihoi at shirtharmony.com. Link in the description below. Check out my new book, Serve, the rule book, step-by-step rules for a fast execution on a new mindset. Link in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back next week. See ya.